What do we have for Gemini? The moon, Pisces energy at the foundation of the reading, Gemini. Gemini, I feel that you are in this season of your life right now where, much like Sag, you have a manifestation coming through. But in order for this manifestation to actually reach you, there's something that needs to be addressed in your everyday waking life. And I feel for you, it has something to do with certain people in your life that hold the same kind of spirit. Now, what I mean by this is I feel that you have began to notice that you have attracted a lot of people into your life that hold the same kind of energy. It's like the same problems happen with different people. And Spirit is wanting you to understand that it's less about the actual people and more about the spirit that these individuals may have using them to do their bidding. It's like they're being used as avatars for some sort of demonic spirit that is trying to stop you from reaching said manifestation. Now, the moon here is speaking about something that's hidden, but it's in the subconscious mind. And I feel for you, Gemini, you're all about the mind, you're all about communication, and it's the way you're perceiving something which is creating a barrier around you being able to pull through this manifestation. Now, in order for you to step into this new chapter, it's going to require you to begin seeing things in a whole new way. Spirit doesn't want you to continue interpreting things with the same understanding that you've always had until now. No matter what you're facing or how you feel, Spirit wants you to begin seeing things from a higher perspective. You're also being given access to some different kinds of energies in your life right now, Gemini, which are going to assist you in seeing things from this higher vantage point. It's like things that you once would have deemed as not possible, you actually see as being very possible now. And this can also speak about a depth that you may be beginning to take in regards to your spirituality, how you see yourself in the world, and how you interface with your everyday waking life. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups, Ace of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. So there's an emphasis here, I feel, well, they're emphasizing your past. There's this nostalgic energy that I'm getting here. It could be connected to family. And there's that perspective shift. This is an energy of somebody, you, that is waking up to some sort of loop, a karmic cycle rather. This could be something that has been playing out for multiple life cycles, and it's going to be in this life cycle where you are going to actually defeat some sort of, well, right now they're giving me the vision of a broken film strip inside an abandoned movie theater. And this is how I quite often refer to karmic cycles that just keep repeating on us. There's this kind of haunted sort of energy that surrounds these sorts of cycles that you're trying to break free of right now. There's something quite interesting here, Gemini. It's like you're trying to move on and just elevate, pull through some sort of manifestation. Spirit is asking you to have this higher perspective over your life up until this point and some of your dealings with people, maybe family members, friends, exes, and all of a sudden, it's like an energy tries to repeat on you. Maybe they try to tug on your heartstrings. It's like an energy where people are all of a sudden trying to re-enter into your life because they can feel you moving on. Maybe they try to re-enter under the guise of saying they miss you. These individuals could have cared less up until this very moment when you're about to have one of the biggest elevations in your life. We always hear about this. They always come back when they feel you moving on. And this is very true because we are born into these life cycles and are automatically enmeshed with certain people, family members, friends. There's cords that connect us to these individuals, and it's almost like they can pick up when you're having big breakthroughs in your life. Sort of like when people all of a sudden start treating you a certain way and there's no real good reason why. It's like they sense something inside of you that makes them feel uncomfortable. It's like they're feeling the pre-effects of your breakthrough. What do we have for the sacral, please? Wow, 5 of Wands, here they come. And Gemini, As soon as I started your reading, I got all this pressure around my throat chakra. You guys might be able to hear it right now. It's not normal. I've been fine all day. As soon as I started the reading, that happened, okay? So it'll be interesting to see what we get right here at that throat chakra position. But I feel that this is really speaking about the need for you to either speak up or communicate some sort of boundaries. I feel that you're entering this new season, this new chapter, which has this manifestation. But again, it requires you moving differently. Things cannot be the way that they have always been. It's not going to allow you to pull through this manifestation. And you're right there, okay? I picked this up in Sag's reading as well. Be interesting to see what we get for Pisces, which I'm going to be doing next. You guys all being mutable signs, there may be a similar energy weaving between all your readings. But no matter who I'm reading for, when we speak about certain manifestations that we're trying to pull through, especially the ones that are spirit-led, meaning you're manifesting this with the universe, you're going to be required to sacrifice certain things from your life. The universe is going to ask you to start looking at things from a more honest perspective, being honest with yourself, being honest about the people you've been dealing with and your life up until this point. This is the necessary component to be able to graduate on to the next level. You know, Gemini, inside this third density, we are constantly at war with a force that wants us to interface with our reality in a way that suits it. In other words, as you're preparing to graduate on into the next level of the game, so to speak, you start to look back over your life and you realize that maybe you were giving certain things a pass, certain people, certain behavioral patterns, certain mindsets. It's sort of like another way of saying that we realized that we were lying to ourselves without even being consciously aware of it. It's like finally seeing something from a different perspective and going, wow, I never even saw that. And it's paradigm shifting. We can definitely associate this with people, right? When we just learn a truth about somebody and we never look at them ever the same again. But we can also do this with ourselves. You know, a huge part of life is realizing that there's this sort of perpetual indoctrination that is taking place at all times. And unless we are aware that this is taking place at all times, we can all slip into it. I mean, our entire reality is built this way. From media, from entertainment, from politics. Most, if not all of these things are to keep us indoctrinated into a certain system of control. Entertainment is there to distract. But whatever it may be, this Five of Wands here at the sacral position is really putting a spotlight on what this may actually be inside your life right now. Spirit really needs you to peel back the layers here and start getting to the core of things and understanding. I just heard very clearly, Spirit needs you to reconnect, sort of like when we have these phases of meditation or prayer, and then we fall off for a little while. And when we find our way back, we wonder why we ever left that space, why we let that connection go. And it all has to do with distraction, living inside the everyday grind of life. It does not support us having a perpetual connection with our higher selves and source. There's always something trying to make it feel like we just don't have time for that. You guys have all felt it, right? Some people can't even squeeze in 3 minutes to meditate or pray. And there's something to be said about that, right? Because you all know that when you actually are able to implement these things into your life, things get better. You feel something cloaking you, especially prayer. It's like you're covering all your bases, so to speak. But there's something incredibly distracting here, Gemini. And whatever this is for you, this is where your focus needs to be right now, because it's going to be the removal of said thing, however that shows up for you, which is going to give you the final push to be able to bring through said manifestation or breakthrough. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Hierophant, Tower. Wow. And Justice. Okay. So the Ten of Cups here is an energy of alignment, all right? Wheel of Fortune. See how this Wheel of Fortune, you're on approach? So this is representing the manifestation, the breakthrough. You're not quite there yet. You haven't crossed the threshold yet, okay? And then the Hierophant, which is representing the universe, the divine, source, spirit, God, working behind the scenes to help bring this through for you. It's like they're working, right? Trying to make sure that this happens, but you need to move accordingly inside your everyday waking life. And the tower, there's the breakthrough. This is it showing up inside your everyday waking life. Justice, a rebalancing. Just another way of saying you're going to be on the top of the wheel now, okay? This Five of Wands is also really representing who this may be connected to. Two of Wands. This is representing those energies that can feel it. They feel a change coming. Yeah, I just heard very clearly, you're on the winning team this time, though, which makes me think that this isn't your first rodeo. I'm thinking about what I just said about prayer and meditation. You get into these phases where you're doing it, and then all of a sudden you fall off, right? And you go back to it again, and you sort of feel like you don't know why you ever stopped. This is what I'm getting here as well. It's like this is going to be the time where you actually get the breakthrough. You keep getting pulled back down into this cycle, but not anymore. This time, you're actually going to break through. And this is actually very normal, Gemini. Very rarely do people get this right the first time around. I've personally never heard of it. Because a part of getting the breakthrough is having a certain kind of knowing or wisdom as to what it means to fail or fall. And then we have this Two of Wands, Aries energy, at the solar plexus. So now we're beginning to see that you're finally in this position where you're able to plan for the future. And see how there's that trickster energy back there? It's like they can't affect you anymore. And look, you have the globe, right? The world in the palm of your hand, and you're looking at it from a higher perspective. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so this is where they want you, okay? That Five of Wands energy. Stuck inside this karmic loop. Inside that haunted movie theater. The same scene playing over and over. Okay, I'm hearing something in regards to what I said at the beginning of the reading about your dealings with people that bring that same spirit, the same problems, the same events, the same things unfold. And Spirit wants you to know that what you're seeing, what you're feeling is spot on. It's like you're beginning to feel like you have been stuck inside a cycle, but it's almost beyond words. You just feel like there's a pattern to some sort of events that have unfolded. Like, how could the exact same thing unfold with a completely different person? Now, however this is showing up for you, Gemini, this is a perfect example of same spirit, different human. Okay? You need to pay attention to that, because in a lot of these situations, you'll be made to feel like you're the common denominator, like there's something wrong with you. You may even question yourself, like, is there something wrong with me? And I'm telling you right now, if you feel that way and you are questioning yourself and how you're showing up, the likelihood that you are stuck inside a karmic loop and are being awakened to this are very high. I would say almost 100%. Okay? It just really depends on your situation. You really need to trust your intuition right now, okay? You need to look at the signs, and most of all, you need to work on your connection with Source. This is really the only way. It's always the only way. What do we have at the heart, please? The World. And there is that karmic loop. Just the repeating pattern. The same events. The same people, the same spirit in different people, making you feel like it's all you. There's just something wrong with you. You know, Gemini, I've never said this one before, but I feel that certain individuals, let's say chosen ones that are sent here to do this kind of grid work, light work within your family lineages and here on the earth, are put into very specific karmic cycles. And this one right here that I'm reading on is very common. It's the karmic cycle where all events repeat exactly the same, maybe every 3 years, maybe every 5.5 years. There's all these different patterns to it. It really depends on your astrological placements and the transits at the time. But I believe that high-level light workers are placed inside incredibly complex mazes, so to speak, or rather karmic cycles, right? Same thing, a maze, a karmic cycle. It's just anything that is meant to keep you from where the divine needs you to get to. It's like you're incarnated into this life cycle, and as soon as you are, it's like you're placed inside the devil's maze, because let's face it, we all know who runs the material world, okay? We are down here on a mission, and though each one of you has a completely different mission than the next, I feel that the karmic cycles, the mazes that all of you are put in, are very similar. What you start to find is when you are able to self-examine, take responsibility for your hand in all of these things, then there'll be something else that begins to emerge, another kind of truth. You wanting to be more honest with the way you live, right? And when you do this, the universe has to reflect a reality that exposes truth to you. Manifestation 101. And this is quite a deep way of thinking about how you show up in the world, right? See, all keys, all pathways, all doors, spiritually speaking, are accessed by becoming more honest with ourselves. This is how you break out of the karmic cycle, the maze, and or the matrix of your own life. By not accepting the lie you tell yourself or the lie that others try to tell you. See, they fear your honesty. They need you to lie to yourself. The more honest you are with yourself, the more powerful you become. It's one of the keys. Honesty is something that people really struggle with. People have this idea of how they show up in the world, and even though they may not look that way to others, they think that if they just keep holding up this mask, eventually people would accept the lie about who they really are. Most people in this world are wearing a mask, which is the whole reason for us being here to begin with. You're here to be an example. You're here to move in a very specific manner. That's why you were chosen for this. And you also need to understand that it doesn't matter who you are in the world or what you do and don't do, or how poor you are, how rich you are, what kind of job you do and don't have. None of this matters. All that matters is the essence of your spirit. That's it. Everything else is a byproduct of the material structure of this third density. This is the game that we are all playing down here. It's a game of understanding that what I'm saying here is truth. Now, you can choose to win this game or lose this game, and whatever choice you make, you will succeed at. But there is no in between. No decision is a loss. So Gemini, here you are on the precipice of a breakthrough. But these are the messages that you need to know at this time. You have some decisions to make. But just know, this is all a part of your mission. This is why you're here. This is one of these moments, Gemini, where you can choose to stay asleep inside a reality that you have always known, or you can choose to wake up self-empower and really begin to understand just how much you uniquely and individualistically have the capability of bringing to this world. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Hangman. So we saw the Hangman from this deck, and now we're seeing it from a completely different deck. So this is all about seeing things from a different perspective, okay? Like we've been saying throughout this entire reading up until now. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Hierophant. God, Spirit, the divine, source, right there at the throat. Gemini, right now you are being called to surrender to the higher order. Take your stations and get in position. This is what this is all about. And I'm already feeling a slight decrease in the pressure around my throat chakra. Now, I feel that this has more to do with a relationship that you keep with yourself than a relationship that's external to you. It's like saying, the relationship you keep with yourself needs to be expressed from this new higher understanding that Spirit is encouraging you to implement at this time. In other words, like we mentioned, you need to strip back the layers, become more honest with yourself, and not allow yourself to continue to be indoctrinated into a certain way of living, a certain idea of how you think you're supposed to show up, right? You know what it's like, Gemini? You ever catch yourself just watching something that's entertaining? You know, maybe you're watching a movie, maybe you're watching something that has to do with politics, and you catch yourself getting really caught up in it, right? It's like in those moments, you're interfacing with your reality from the perspective of that which you are mainlining, so to speak, right? And then afterwards, you go back to your regular life. And it has a way of kind of staying with you. Now you are interfacing with your life through a different lens of understanding. It's like that piece of entertainment or some sort of political talk show or whatever it is. It just has a way of making us feel smaller than we are, especially this day and age, because there's so much fear in all of it. And there's either fear or, in the entertainments, there's just a lot of lust and just really low vibrational things going on that are meant to keep us in our lower chakras. And it's really overwhelming, because you don't even really realize that at first, Maybe you just like a certain kind of entertainment. There's nothing wrong with that. But then if you look a little closer, there's something else going on there. But without going too far down that path, Gemini, these are all the things that Spirit is asking you to take note of right now, okay? Yes, we all have to live inside this third density. And it's not about going and living underground somewhere or underneath a rock. Okay, that's not what I'm saying here at all. Experience life, but experience life from a controlled understanding of what's going on, and make sure you don't lose yourself inside the matrix, right? See, the whole key is to be awake inside the matrix. We have to still live inside of it. That's what we're here for. We're here to complete a mission and fulfill our destiny. We need to integrate, but you can do this from a space of knowing, okay? That's really the takeaway from all of this. Spirit is asking you to awaken within your own matrix and maintain yourself enough to be able to stay in that mindset, because it all comes down to a mindset, as not to slip back into the matrix again. And this in and of itself, that's a challenge. It takes work on a daily basis to really keep yourself aligned, balanced. There's a reason these messages are coming through here right now for you, Gemini. A lot of this also has to do with the fact that Spirit, Four of Pentacles, at the third eye, is trying to wake you up to some sort of limiting belief or limiting mindset that you hold inside this space, inside this reality, and the way you interface with it. It's like waking up inside your everyday waking life with a newfound sense of self, which gives you that needed push to be able to break through. I mentioned in the Sag reading that depending on how you look at it and who you are and what your belief system is, a lot of people think that heaven and hell is just something that we experience vibrationally. You can experience hell in any moment, and you can experience a certain kind of heaven in any moment. And I absolutely 100% believe this. Vibration is everything. It determines how we interface with our life and reality. And it's all individualistic. So we have full control over it. Of course, we can self-sabotage by succumbing to our environments and the things that are bombarding us in our everyday waking life. But when you begin to understand how this works, this is when you can really take the power position in your life. There's a way that you've been living, Gemini, which is causing you to stay inside of some sort of safe zone. It's like saying that you're afraid to take a leap of faith because you don't know what to expect. And on this Four of Pentacles, we see death right here, right? It's like death is trying to bring an ending to you holding back, being too scared to take a chance here. And then we have death again right there. So the death card in tarot, if you don't know, is all about endings, okay? Moving on from something. It's all about transformation. This death card right here represents a phoenix rising up out of the ashes, but it requires sacrifice, right? Sacrifice of holding on to whatever this may be because you think it's safe. Relationship, geographical location. It's like not taking a chance because you're afraid of what could go wrong. And look, it really depends on what it is for you, Gemini. Each one of you is going to be different, but it's going to have to do with something that you can't shake, something that's been calling you your entire life. I just got a ringing in my ear when I said that. It's like you have an inner knowing, an inner calling. You have something that is requesting you. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit? Too many cards. Eight of Pentacles. So here's the manifestation. Here you are working inside of that space. And then here you are, Five of Pentacles. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out. This is an energy of a lack mindset, okay? Very similar to this Four of Pentacles right here. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit? Temperance. Sag energy at the crown. Now, I'm getting something here about healing and balance with this Temperance card. I feel that this has to do with a lot of the things that Spirit is guiding you to release right now. Maybe the mindset, the environment, the toxic person, the behavioral pattern, whatever it is. It's like all of these things are going to work in conjunction to be able to give you the confidence to push forward on this path. It's like each one of them raises your vibration incrementally. And then once you've done this, you all of a sudden don't feel the need to hold back anymore. You just feel a sense of harmony, but in your spirit, in your mind. Now, this can just really speak about the noise, right, that we all deal with. It's like when you begin to understand what it really is and shut out where possible, you start to show up in your everyday waking life feeling more in control. It's like it's there, that it's pretty unavoidable, but you just interface with those things differently. You just have to make sure that you don't forget. See, we live in this world that is dualistic. It's made up of good and evil, right? It's just the way the third density is. And inside this third density, you're going to feel this overwhelming force that wants you to interface with your reality through the lens that reflects its will for your life, instead of through the lens of knowing that was supplied to you by Source. And this is just a metaphorical representation of how you perceive something. It's like you're incarnated into this life cycle, and the divine sends you down with a pair of glasses that you need to wear when you're navigating the third density. Then when you get down here, it's like the devil tries to take those glasses away from you and give you his instead. So you interface with your reality in a way that reflects his will for your life. What do we have? The foundation, please. Two of Swords, Libra energy at the foundation. Okay, so this is a perfect card to follow what I'm saying here, okay? Because it's an energy of confusion. It's also an energy of information overload. So think about that, right? We're speaking about how our reality and everything that is in it is constantly bombarding our senses, our minds, trying to keep us indoctrinated into a system that reflects a darker agenda, so to speak, right? But it presents itself like it's there for you, like it's doing you a favor, like it's sticking its neck out for you, like it knows what's best for you. It's like a greasy salesman, right? I just heard, take this and relax, right? It just gives what's like a stand-down tactic. Now, this just really speaks about much of what I was saying in regards to what we see in the world around us, entertainment, which is there to distract everybody. And then the political structure of the world is just really meant to keep everybody in a state of fear all the time and feeling very confused and truly making us feel like we don't have control over anything, even though it wants you to think that you do. And it's right underneath this moon. So this is all of you understanding this, accepting this, and not putting yourself in a position to where it even really matters anymore. You just don't really give it that sort of energy. You see it for what it is and you keep it pushing, right? It's like a system that needs to feed and grow on your fear. And though you cannot single-handedly destroy the system because it just is what it is, it's integrated into the third density. It's not supposed to be destroyed. It's just there. Right? It's a constant. You don't have to let it affect you. Sure, I know this is easier said than done, but this is the message. Now, we have gone down the rabbit hole a bit in this reading, but I feel that Spirit wants you to apply a lot of these messages to what you may be dealing with inside your everyday waking life. A lot of what I'm saying here could be used as metaphorical examples and representations that you can attribute to your own life, okay? What do we have at the sacral? Empress. At the sacral position. Now, the Empress from this deck is an energy that's overindulgent, and it's also an energy that's dependent on others. Follows what we just said perfectly. Take this and just relax. Watch this. Listen to this. Plug into this. I just heard something wants to leech off of your fear, and that's also right underneath that Five of Wands, which are the obstacles and challenges that are trying to stop you from getting this breakthrough. You know, Gemini, when it comes to, well, let me rephrase this. Based on this reading, you would think that what you're manifesting into your everyday waking life must be something that's going to save the world, right? Otherwise, why such a profound reading? And Gemini, you have to understand that each and every one of you is a part of the greater mechanics of the universe. It has nothing to do with how big or small the manifestation is, what your purpose is. It all comes down to positioning. You may be positioned in a certain space, in a certain environment that creates a domino effect energetically. You just don't know, okay? So for those of you out there that may be listening to this going, oh, well, I'm not, I'm past my prime and I'm not really manifesting anything great into my life. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how old or young you are. All that matters is positioning, okay? And when you begin to understand this, it actually becomes much easier to navigate yourself inside this world, inside this matrix, because you start to see everything around you as, that doesn't even really matter. Now, yes, everything is about positioning, but there's a big difference between positioning and people who are being used by a system of control to distract people. Okay? People who are stepping into positioning, again, are not going to be distracting you and getting you to look somewhere else. People who are truly walking with the divine's will for their life are focused on what they need to do, not what you need to do. Right on the bottom of the deck, Death, Lucifer. Okay? So this Death card is speaking about an energy that is trying to stop you from implementing the changes in your life to position yourself, okay? Knight of Wands, fire energy at the solar plexus. And this is speaking about everything that we've been talking about. Knight of Wands is a reckless energy. It brings nothing but delays and frustration into your life. This could be showing up as an individual that just always brings chaos with them everywhere they go. It's a kind of whirlwind energy. It's the kind of energy that will come into your life and feed you a dream and then leave you face down in the dirt. It's all about running out your life clock minutes. It's a very rebellious energy and not the good kind of rebellious, okay? This is one of the devil's minions, and they are on a mission to make sure that you don't make it to your position, so to speak. And see how it's right underneath that Two of Wands, right? Okay, I'm getting something here. It's like that person. Ooh, wow. I just got the loudest ringing in my ear. It was so loud, I was almost going to ask you guys if you heard that. Okay. This energy here wasn't able, let me rephrase this. This energy's tricks don't work on you anymore, right? A trickster energy back there. So here comes another one. They keep coming, okay? Now, you just need to be aware of this, especially at this time, Gemini. When you're preparing to have breakthroughs, the devil is going to send many distractions into your life. As time goes on, you become better at recognizing these, but sometimes they're just too good. And you can't help but fall for them, okay? Now that's okay. You just have to get back up and keep going, okay? Nobody is expected to walk this path in a perfectly straight line. It's not possible. The divine knows that. But as long as you're doing your absolute best at checking back in with source and staying connected and remembering who you are while you're here, right? We're talking about all these distractions here that really seek to take away our memory of who we are because we get so caught up in it, the entertainment, the politics, all these things that we just forget. Because you have to understand that all these things also desensitize you. So all of a sudden, here's Spirit saying, I need you to strengthen your connection with me. And Spirit being something you can't see, you can just feel. The desensitizing nature of these other things has a way of invalidating Spirit. It's like saying, well, you know, I can watch this show on Netflix and eat a bunch of chocolate and this tube of Pringles, or I can maybe fast for the next 24 hours and pray. The chocolate and the tube of Pringles and the Netflix show are going to bring you a lot of satisfaction in the moment. But the prayer and the fasting, it quite often brings sacrifice and a kind of delayed gratification. But what I have found is that the more you do it, the more consistent you are with it, the faster it works because it begins to catch up with itself. But whatever the case, Gemini, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. Okay? I'm just here to deliver the messages to you the way I'm told to, and then you implement them the way that you see fit, because at the end of the day, you have your free will and you don't have to do anything, but you have to understand the way you move inside your everyday waking life is how your life is going to develop, all right? And through sacrifice, you will begin to see great reward. And then right on the bottom of the deck, the devil, Moloch. And this one card speaks about everything we've been talking about, right? The entertainment, the politics, the matrix, the third density, everything we're bombarded with, right? The addiction, the lust, the material world, the greed, the envy, the compulsion, the bondage. This is that energy. If that's not a confirmation for you, I don't know what is. What do we have at the heart, please? Seven of Pentacles, Taurus energy at the heart. Says right there, criminal enterprise. Now, the Seven of Pentacles from this deck is speaking about a lack of a long-term vision or some sort of limited success and or reward, okay? Now, this can really be speaking about what we have saying needs to be sacrificed and released to be able to close out this cycle and enter into this new timeline, into this new chapter of your life where this manifestation is waiting for you, okay? And criminal enterprise, I mean, immediately I'm thinking about everything we've been saying, the agenda. Instead of the higher order, it's like the lower order. It's like there's something that is trying to keep you indoctrinated, just like everybody else. You're not alone here, Gemini, okay? This is just how you're dealing with it. Each one of us is dealing with this slightly differently. It's just custom made for each one of your archetypes. It's going for your mind. I just heard mind health. It wants you to think that you're lesser than what you are, okay? And then we have the Knight of Wands again. So we have it twice, but these read differently. This is lower polarity. This is higher polarity, okay? Now, this Knight of Wands right here is the action that you need to take to defend yourself from this energy. And it really just comes down to holding enough confidence and courage to keep pushing forward and to remain focused enough to not allow these energies to take control over you and how you show up inside your everyday waking life. This energy here wants to strip you of control. This energy here wants to overwhelm you and make you feel like you can't take control. And this energy here wants to tell you that, no, you are in full control. See, it all comes down to all of us self-sabotaging, right? That's how the devil works. He places things on your path to tempt you. And if you choose to fall for the temptation, well, then that's on you, right? And when you do that, you create a reality for yourself that is a direct reflection of that. See, you can hack your own world, your own reality when you begin to understand this. What do we have at the throat? Ten of Swords. They want me to take this Ace of Cups as well because it also flipped over. Gemini, that is your energy, okay, with that Ten of Swords. Revelation. Now, this is an ending and a beginning, just like I've been picking up. This is after you have closed out the cycle. See how there's a seal on this portal, right? It's like you have just moved through into a new timeline. I just started mentally speaking. It's like you're interfacing with your reality differently. And then the Ace of Cups is all about emotional strength. I just heard mental, emotional strength. Overcoming temptation, however that shows up for you. This is the key. This is the sacrifice that's being asked of you at this time. Okay, let's close this out for Gemini, please. What do we have at the crown? Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. Perfect. We were just talking about sacrifice, okay? And now here you are, offering up things to the divine. Okay, divine, I'm ready to sacrifice these things from my life. I don't need them, right? Mindsets, behavioral patterns, people, places, things, whatever it is, okay, for you. And then fortune and fame fulfills any requests. The divine says, perfect. Come this way. We're going to go ahead and show you around this new timeline where this manifestation you have been trying to pull into your life exists because you get it. It says right there, God who supports the universe. Now, this is really speaking about a higher understanding of how things actually work, okay? We are all faced with decisions in our everyday waking lives that can move us further away from said manifestations or closer to them. It's no one else's fault. It's all on us. And the sooner that each one of you begins to understand that you are in full control and you take full responsibility for that space and you begin to move accordingly and you prove to yourself more than anyone or anything else that you really want it, whatever it is, then you will begin to see the breakthroughs in your life. There's no easy ways out of this, Gemini. And though I think you know that, it can be very hard to keep that mindset at all times because of the overwhelming distractions. So having said all of this, there's a serious depth that we went to in this reading that will be further decoded by you as you listen to this reading. Things that we said are intended to expand your mind, to present you with new ideas. I just heard light bulb moments that are going to arm you with the tools that you need to get this breakthrough. All right, Gemini, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. If you would like to support my channel, there are a few ways that you can go about doing this. Of course, donations are always greatly appreciated, and I would like to extend my gratitude to everybody who continues to support my channel. I also have an online store, which is made up of several items that I have designed myself, which are all extensions of the creative universe of my channel. And I would also like to express my gratitude to everybody who's gone there and made purchases. If you would like to join the membership side of my channel, it's only $2.99 a month, where I upload bonus readings that are not available on the public side of my platform. Information for personal readings can be found down below. But lastly, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you. So drop me a heart and or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.